Hello everyone, JRDL96 here with a brand new reaction. As you could tell by the title, it's another Jacksepticeye video, and it's ironic enough that I kinda predicted it somehow, and I kinda saw it coming. He's interviewed Tom Holland. I'll be damned. I kinda saw this coming from a mile away, because I remember just seeing like the timing of it, and I remember somebody asked him on Tumblr, like, are you interviewing somebody else this month? And he said someone big, and he had some like weird like answer that kind of gave the vibe of yes. And then he tweeted, ironically, the day that I posted my reaction to the interview that he did with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, he tweeted out that he's interviewing someone special tomorrow, and it's a GIF of Tom Holland from Spider-Man Far From Home. And I'm like, saw that one coming. So that's kind of cool that he finally got the chance to meet Tom Holland. And he also interviewed Zendaya and the guy who plays Ned. That's pretty cool. And obviously the title is like, Tom Holland knew I was Irish. But the one question I was thinking, like, going through, I even mentioned it before, like, does Tom Holland ever heard of Jacksepticeye? Because he's my age, and he's in that demographic of people that would know YouTube and kind of understand YouTube, and probably have come across people like him or Mark or PewDiePie or somebody. But apparently, he doesn't know him. He never heard of him. That is crazy. Kind of shocked by that, but the more you know. But anyways, enough rambling. Let's just get right to the interview. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we? 3.
How's it going? I somehow knew you were Irish. Do I have a look? I don't know. That was so oh, he's definitely Irish. How are you guys? Well, thank you. I'm, first of all, massive fan. I'm a huge lover of Spider-Man and everything that you guys do, so this is this is so weird that I get to actually be
Michelle Jones.
Talk to you.
Oh, thank you. That's really
lovely to meet you. So I saw the movie last night, absolutely loved it. I thought it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Now you lucky bastard.
Expectations for it. The thing that I like the most about it is that you guys are in Europe now in this one. You get to actually travel around and see a lot of places that I've been to. Especially, you got to come here to London and everything, and you being from here and everything, it must have been
It was
great.
so nice to be home.
Yeah.
And shoot it at home. And it's also really nice to be able to bring the franchise to London.
Yeah.
You know, there's such a huge...
Look at that denim jacket he's wearing.
Being able to share it with
and those damn shoes. He's got no socks on.
Do you guys...
He's got probably...
bias.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Online now.
Okay, for the other guys, which was your favorite place to go to then?
Well, we did spend most of the time in London. But we made a lot of memories in all the cities that we went to. Like, probably really fun, and then it's just really beautiful.
Yeah. So beautiful.
I mean, having a vacation with your friends is like a lifetime of memories, and days feel longer.
The zoom in enhance.
Yeah. It wasn't like no, I'm saying because it was the hottest summer last year in Europe. Right?
It had to be.
Football was coming home.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Aww.
I didn't understand the seriousness of what it was to losing to Croatia.
That was,
And we were all devastated, and they're all laughing.
Were they calling it soccer the entire time?
No, I was actually saying the football because people say that.
Oh, the World Cup was going on last year, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When they were filming.
Say like
Football.
you watching football.
Yeah, you watching football.
No, but did you watch
Are you watching
football,
basketball?
which is the ball? Because
But
the
you're
ball
not-
flies
Yeah, because you got football, the NFL, like, and you have it, that's like the term in soccer.
Basketball, that'd be very boring.
That's the term in other countries for soccer.
Right.
It's football.
It's on the feet.
Because it's obviously you're kicking it, foot with your
I think
foot.
you watch the players.
Yeah, they watch what they do.
If you're more interested in the soccer ball or
Spoken
football
like true Americans.
or the
Hey, look,
Basketball.
we can get all, like, you know, mean right now.
We're all friends here. We're friends here.
We're doing good.
We're all friends.
You guys are in London now. You're outnumbered, so.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
And you don't want to mess with football, do
You guys basically just threatened us on TV. So thanks, guys.
Well, this is going on YouTube, so you're good.
You basically threatened us on YouTube.
It's the Wild West out there. Nothing matters on YouTube. But yeah, that was the great thing about the movie as well, because it seemed like you guys were all just on a trip together. You made it actually feel like going on a school trip as like teenagers and everything. Like, do you guys draw on personal experience for stuff like that? Because you have to go back and like pretend to be in your teen years in high school again. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our teen years weren't that long ago.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think if anything, we're kind of still just trying to adult and just figure out how to not.
Yeah.
Play teenagers.
Long ago.
It's not that hard.
Look at age.
But also,
Just go back through that
the
phase.
easy thing about being kids on vacation is we were basically a bunch of kids on vacation.
Yeah.
And remembering that it is work. Like,
Exactly. Because this is part of the film.
Most of the time.
Yeah, we had to constantly be reminded by the producers and directors that we were playing
This is
characters.
work.
And we were
Yeah.
Well, you made it look easy,
And
so.
honestly, like, we were trying to eat some props that we thought were real food because we're on vacation so much.
What?
What? They both said what at the same time.
It's a huge film, they can afford real food.
Jacob's recording his own movie.
Yeah. My own little thing.
Do you guys have like a favorite day on set or a favorite moment that you got to shoot?
I love shooting some of the action sequences were pretty cool. The Venice fight sequence where I run across the poles.
Yeah.
That was a great day because that took a whole day to shoot. And we kept getting it wrong, and they wanted to use it as one continuous take, and we kept getting it wrong, and then right as the light was going down and we were going to call it a day, we got it bang on, and everyone was, celebrating and jumping around. Like we won the lottery, but it was awesome.
It turned out great.
Thanks, Jacob. I thought your stunt in that sequence was really cool.
Thank you. You know what? I don't want to brag about anything, but
And you did it yourself.
we did all the stunts. I mean, like,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
not a big deal.
Especially because of his size,
Movie should be
too.
called Jacob Man.
I'm looking at
Porn. Oh, that was from
I'm
Homecoming.
here to lift everyone else up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that scene. That was pretty funny.
What a hero. So now that this is kind of closing off Phase 3 of Marvel, it's kind of the tail end between Phase 3 and Phase 4.
Yeah.
So did that put a lot of pressure on you guys? Was there a lot to live up to, or did you just kind of...
Especially after Endgame. Come
How does it
on.
feel to try and contain the Endgame spoilers going into this?
I think the good thing about this movie is obviously, as somebody watching Endgame and Infinity War, like I was pretty devastated
Yeah.
and scared for my career.
Yeah.
But I would say that the special thing about this movie is that it gives a little bit of hope, and also it has like this warm, and at the end of the day is a young coming of age story about like there's a lot of humor, a lot of laughs, and so I think within the action and the crazy stuff that's happening, also we kind of get to look at all the things that happen in Endgame and all that stuff through kind of a comedic lens sometimes, so it's not as devastating all the time. I think there's moments of devastation, but I think it just kind of is going to uplift everybody after everything they've like just experienced and been through, which is I
Yeah,
think
you made me cry in the cinema twice. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
sorry, man.
You're back though. I'm glad you're not
I'm
there.
back. Yeah, me too.
I was actually really close.
Yeah, I know, same.
He was actually disappearing in real life for a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
I can do that.
Yeah.
But it just took a long time to put me back together.
Yeah.
Did you see that meme where it was like a big jar of sand and it was like a puzzle and it was a
Oh my god.
Oh, close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because to me, Spider-Man is the most relatable character.
Yes, I think that's what makes him popular.
Because, like, not everyone can see what it's like to be a billionaire, or not everyone loses their parents and becomes a brooding detective, and things like that. So, I think Spider-Man's the most relatable superhero of all of them. That's why he's my favorite. So,
Thank you.
for your characters in the movie, how much do you guys relate to the people that you're portraying?
Interesting.
Quite a bit. I mean, that's pretty like happy-go-lucky and pretty just out there and
Pretty much they point themselves.
Yeah, I think just like that, really.
Just chill,
Yeah, just vibing out.
getting shot in the neck.
He just swears a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think that is just very a lot more respectful. Jacob is.
I wouldn't say respectful is the word.
Yeah,
Just
something like
says like, yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay, good. Because I've been getting a lot of people attitude recently.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jacob.
I know it's
Such a
terrible.
nice guy
I
though.
don't know what's been
You're a
going
fool,
on.
and you.
I told you.
It's the football.
I told
Yeah.
It's
you.
the
I
football,
told you guys
man.
Europe wasn't good for me. I told
You've been
you.
watching the players instead of the football.
Yeah, if you just watch the ball, it's fine.
So that's what that is, Dave. You heard your turn?
He's like, and moving on.
And moving on.
Next question.
I don't know. I guess the fact that she's a little bit of a loner, which I think I can definitely relate to. I feel that often, you know, she kind of, as her defense mechanism, she kind of creates a wall around herself and usually stays in her own bubble, even if she secretly wants other people to interact with her.
Yeah.
She'll always pretend like she doesn't, and I think I can relate. I'm the same.
I think we can all relate to that at some point in our lives.
Yeah, it's just, you know, but I'm slowly but surely trying to force myself out of my bubble. You know,
Yeah.
make friends,
You
be
must be
social.
a bubble.
It's tough,
Nice.
but
I kind of find that hard to believe because, especially with her career, the things she
How about
does.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
I'm just talking about. You remember
What's with the fucking music?
All answering.
I relate to my character in so many ways. I'm American. I live in Queens. What a hilarious.
With a Queen's accent.
I relate to, I don't know.
You should have like written this movie. You're just, like,
I should have written the
you're so
movie.
funny.
I'm just so funny and I'm really creative.
It's fucking crazy.
No, I relate to Peter Parker in loads of different ways. But I genuinely can't think of any. He's such a good person. I think what I've learned, I can tell you what I've learned from Peter Parker. From the first film, I learned that, you know, you can never do enough for other people, you know. And then in this film, he learns that sometimes you have to do things for yourself to benefit others.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned from Peter Parker in this
Yeah.
film.
It's a wonderful message.
Wasn't the question, but
Wasn't the question?
good job. Way to
Kinda-
Professional.
Yeah.
Way to spin.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you guys so much.
Interesting. That was really awesome to see. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. That was really fun to watch. That he got to meet Tom Holland finally. Really, really interesting. I thought Jack had some pretty interesting questions in there too, like about it. And obviously, you could tell that he's a fan, and I think I like the fact that Jack mentions like the fact that Spider-Man is somewhat a relatable character to the viewer. Because in the comics, obviously, with his character, the way Peter Parker is in the comics, he's this nerdy kid with glasses who can't get dates, who's not rich, he can't really get a good job, he can't make enough money. Well, like, he's not rich, he always has money worries and stuff like that. And he can't really get the girl. Having a hard time to get dates. And I think I can actually relate to that. Like, come on, like, I think that's what makes Spider-Man more, like, what made him the most popular Marvel character out there. Because of the fact that he's pretty much a relatable guy. Because I'm pretty sure all of you probably have gone through those types of things. Like, you've probably been bullied, you probably had money worries, you probably couldn't get girls, like, you couldn't go on dates with girls or stuff like that, like, you couldn't get the girl, stuff like that, I don't know, stuff like that. But overall, I think that's what makes Spider-Man very special. But it was kind of funny, some of the, like, zoom in, like, with the pink filter, as if they were gazing in each other's eyes. I like the question that you mentioned about, like, how can you relate to what makes you and your character relatable? Like, I don't know, it was something about being related to something, like, being, what is like, I don't even know. Like, what do you learn from your character? Like, what do you learn from your character? And I like Tom Holland's answers. Like, you got to do things to help others. I like their responses. I'm probably going to watch the interview again and again and again to really understand what's going on and understand what the questions really were and stuff. But it was really awesome to see that he got to finally interview the big cheese himself, Tom Holland. Next, we got probably Chris Pratt. We got Chris Pratt next. What's his next movie? I did know that he was supposed to interview Keanu Reeves, and that fell through. So that, I was wondering about the whole, like the thing that let me get into the whole Spider-Man thing, and the whole thing with Zendaya. Like, I don't mind the whole, she's technically MJ thing. Like, I don't give a shit. And I know that she's not Mary Jane. As much as how much that people are freaking out about it, I don't think she's Mary Jane. She's probably going to be the Mary Jane kind of character, probably, the love interest for him. Because, she's got the MJ initials, and her full name is Michelle Jones. So, she's not Mary Jane. You're fine, guys, you're fine. Unless if that's her alias, like her alter ego. It's her alter ego's Michelle Jones, and her real name is Mary Jane. If that actually happens in the movie, I'll just die laughing because that'd be just too funny. But I think this movie has a lot to live up to, a lot of hype and a lot of expectations, because this is following the events of Endgame. And speaking of Endgame is getting a re-release in movie theaters. It's their final attempt to dethrone Avatar as the highest grossing movie in worldwide. It is at least $35 million away from surpassing Avatar. And this re-release apparently includes an unfinished deleted scene, I think at least 8 minutes of footage, or something like that, and 8 minute post-credit scene thing, an unfinished deleted scene, and a Stan Lee tribute, and a sneak peek at Spider-Man Far From Home. And it's ironic enough that Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out July 2nd, which was the same release date as The Amazing Spider-Man 1, and what was the original release date for Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire. If you look at the very first teaser trailer for Spider-Man 2, the release date at the end was July 2nd, 2004. And just like Far From Home, they upped the release date a couple days early to June 30th. That's what ended up happening. Now, I'm probably going to say that this movie, I don't think any Spider-Man movie will ever surpass Spider-Man 2. In my honest opinion, it's never going to be surpassed. No other Spider-Man movie is going to surpass that. Because, to me, it's probably the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock is probably one of the best Spider-Man superhero movies of all time. It's up there with the best superhero movies of all time. On the level of The Dark Knight. It's because of the struggle of Peter Parker being Spider-Man and trying to live his normal life. You could see that's what makes him awesome. That's what makes that. That's what makes Spider-Man so popular, is because of his inner struggles. Trying to, like, balance the life of being a superhero and his actual self. And he actually gives it up when he loses his powers. And then they took it from the comics of him throwing his costume into the garbage. They took that from the book, that comic book, Spider-Man No More, which was issue number 50. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, and then when he finally comes back, it's awesome. Now, I'm probably gonna be asked, have you seen the Into the Spider-Verse yet? Honestly, I have not. And because I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of amazing things about that movie. The thing is, I'm not really into the whole, like, multiverse type thing like that. Like, I'm not into the whole multiple Spider-Men. Like, the only Spider-Man I know is really Peter Parker. Miles, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of. Like, I am a fan of also Miles Morales, too. But, because after a while, it gets ridiculous. Because apparently, Spider-Man has the most multiple versions of himself, if that makes any sense. He's got so many different versions of himself. It's ridiculous. That's how you could tell he's one of the most popular Marvel characters out there. That's how you could tell. Because he's got Noir, he's got Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, he's got Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man 1602, Zombie Spider-Man, Doppelganger, like all these other Spider-Men, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, like, holy shit, like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying that I'm never going to see it, but I do want to see it. I really want to see Spider-Verse. I would like to see what they did. Because I've seen some clips online, and honestly, the visual art style of that movie is probably one of the best I've seen. Like, I love the visual style. It almost feels like it just got ripped out of a comic book. It's as if they took the assets of a comic book and put it onto animation. It's like a motion comic, almost. Like, it kind of gave you, like, I don't know if it's a motion comic, but it's got that comic book feel, that comic book look. You know, like, and I love, like, one of the coolest parts I remember seeing online is the opening, the intro, or the company logos of Sony and Columbia. That opening is probably one of the coolest I've seen, because if you watch the Columbia logo pop in, you see, like, it glitch out and actually, like, turn into various versions of that woman that stands like this with the light, looking like the Statue of Liberty. But there's, like, different and it shows, like, different variations of the Columbia logo. Like, there's also one where she looks like a cowgirl, and that's what I liked about it. It's like, it put, again, different versions of that. Like, I love that it plays into that. That's the concept of the Spider-Verse. But overall, I want to actually watch Spider-Verse really badly. But I remember hearing that originally that Peter B. Parker was supposed to be voiced by Tobey Maguire. They wanted him to voice that Spider-Man, but they decided to not do that because they didn't want to confuse the audience. Confuse the audience? Honestly, I think it would be nice if you actually made it somewhat of a sequel to Spider-Man 3. that wouldn't have been a bad idea. And blended into the whole multiverse, Spider-Verse thing. And again, talking about multiverses, this whole thing was Far From Home, alluding to the whole multiverse thing. And apparently Mysterio is from a different universe, different multiverse. It's all illusion. He's the master of illusion. Mysterio's faking it. So, it's going to eventually be revealed that it's all a ruse. Because Mysterio was a stuntman, I remember watching an old episode of Spider-Man the animated series from the 90s, and he did Quentin Beck did something on the one of the bridges. I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge, the George Washington Bridge, or the Manhattan Bridge. It was a stunt scene that had it was supposed to be an action scene, and I guess one of the things he put a little too much, I guess, fake explosives, and it actually downed a helicopter that was filming it, and Spider-Man saved and stopped Beck from running away, and that ended up him in jail, and that's how he became Mysterio, and he started to frame Spider-Man for robbing banks. But I also remember Mysterio in the Spider-Man 2 movie game, when he was trying to prove that Spider-Man was a fake, and then he decided to take over the Statue of Liberty. Oh my god, that was just the weirdest shit, but it was awesome. He had these freaking little beacons, hovering beacons to web swing off of, going to the Statue of Liberty and trying to take out all these things, and then this brain at the top you could just kill in the 4 hits. And speaking, and also the boss, the actual fight with Mysterio, it just you see the health bar just go up and up and up, multiple levels, red, yellow, and green. And Spider-Man you could just walk up to him and punch it, and then he's down. Oh my god. That is just the funniest things in the world. Oh my god, that was just too funny. I remember just laughing my ass off the first time. I'm like, really? That was it? I was expecting this epic fight, and then just boom, one punch and he's down by the count. But anyways, I think that I'll end this video here. I think I rambled long enough. Overall, I enjoyed the interview that Jack did with Tom Holland and Zendaya and Jacob, who plays Ned. And also, I'm looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm obviously going to see Spider-Man Far From Home because I've probably mentioned in the past that Spider-Man is my all-time favorite superhero. Because of how relatable he is and how, stuff like that. And I found it really cool that, I know it sounds like I'm a creep right here now, but ironically enough, Tom Holland was born the day after me. Same year as me, the day after me. So he was born June 1st in 96, when I was born May 31st in 96. So we're both Geminis. Alright, enough creepy shit. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Oh, wait. I forgot to mention this other YouTuber that I kind of heard of, who recently was found dead. Etika, I think that's how you say his name. That really took me back, hearing that he died. I remember just watching a compilation of all of his insane over-the-top reactions to Super Smash Brothers. And just to see that he was found dead a couple days yesterday on the 25th, when he was apparently he was last seen on June 19th, and he committed suicide he died. It was a suicide. It was ruled a suicide by drowning. And honestly, it's really, really sad. And apparently he had a lot of mental issues and a lot of stress and a lot of problems. Because I remember months ago, there was like a picture I saw. Like, I remember seeing this picture of him on a stretcher, sitting up, like acting like himself. He was apparently like on a stretcher or something. I don't know. And apparently, also he was being made fun of and being called a clown. And I'm guessing he was bullied. He was getting made fun of and bullied and stuff, and that probably what's led him to decide to take his own life. So to all those people who did that, I hope you're fucking happy. Hope you're happy that you made him take his own life. You feel accomplished? I don't tolerate any of that at all. It's unacceptable. And I know you're going to be like, oh, I always supported him from the beginning. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop fucking lying. But overall, to me, when I first kind of saw glimpses of him, he seemed like probably one of the nicest people you probably would ever meet. He probably looked like a nice, genuine guy who was who was obviously a huge fan of Nintendo. And Etika, we'll miss you, man. I'll take my hat off as a little nod to you. Rest in peace, Etika. Anyways, enough about the sad, depressing stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends, be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure also to check out my Instagram because I make cool ads to Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also do reenactments and cosplays on there, so go check it out. I recently did a cosplay of Phantom of the Opera, so you could check that out if you don't mind. Even though I've never seen the show. I probably said this already, but if I haven't, I also have a Tumblr in the description as well, so be sure also to check out my Tumblr, it's in the description as well. So until next time, JRDeal96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.